Hello, everybody. I'm here doing an interview with DreSands. I'm here to just talk to him about his music and his new mixtape that I think he just came out with. What's up, DeAndre?
How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. My name is DreSands. I combine my artist name, my first and last name, for my artist name to be DreSands. My brand is called Thespian Music. I primarily focus on the genres of hip hop, rap, R&B, soul music, and I include poetry as well.
That's good. That's good. I've actually witnessed a lot of your work, and you have a good direction going for you. You've made a lot of songs that touched me. I remember you were doing the talent show, I believe, last year. You did that performance where you were handcuffs, pretending that you were a criminal. That was a good performance, and I was really moved by that because a lot of people don't want to speak about issues like that when really that's really how society is. So I just want to go into a little bit about like what made you want to start doing music. What drove you to that passion?
Well, to give you my honest perspective on what made me want to start doing music, I honestly started doing music when I began writing poetry for my girlfriend, my last girlfriend in high school. And one day I just happened to be listening to a music instrumental. And I just happened to just started rapping the poetry to the music, and I really realized to myself that music was just poetry, but to a beat. Then eventually that same year I happened to break my leg playing basketball, so I was forced to stay on the couch for about a month. Mm-hmm. And my dad bought me a new laptop, and I happened to just come by a free DJ software trial where I could use DJ equipment for free. And I just happened to just mess around with that while I was laying on the couch, waiting for my leg to heal, which brought me to learning more about music software such as GarageBand, Logic Pro, Virtual DJ, etc. And then I went to go buy my first musical software such as microphones, headphones, condensers, mixers during my freshman year of college at Lewisburg before I transferred here to University of North Carolina, Charlotte. And ever since then, I've been creating my own music, producing a lot of my own beats, trying to get other artists to collaborate, and just wanted to make a name for myself as an artist, as a DJ, as a producer, everything in that performing artist type of category.
That's really good. So, did you stop playing basketball after your injury, or did you continue playing once you healed?
I actually continued playing because that was the main goal of mine. Breaking my leg and coming back from that broken leg was a big part of my life because I remember the doctor telling me I probably wouldn't be able to walk for about 4 months, and I probably wouldn't be able to play sports again for a whole year. But my brother would happen to be entering his senior year season because I was 1 year underneath him and I was a junior, and I told myself if I can get back in time enough for tryouts, I can make it in time to be able to play on the same team with my brother before he graduates from high school. Unfortunately, I didn't end up getting put on a varsity basketball team. I ended up getting put on a junior varsity basketball team, but it was miraculous because the doctor said that it was a slim chance for me to even come back within a year to be able to play basketball, but I came back within the following 3.5 months off of work, determination, and just wanting to play with my brother before he graduated.
That's really good. Not to pry into the poem you wrote. Do you remember the poem that you wrote for your ex-girlfriend?
Yes, I remember. I remember the poem I wrote for my last girlfriend. It was titled Remedy, and I ended up turning it into a song because at the time when I met her, I felt remedy in my heart because I truly, at the time, she was the most beautiful thing I ever laid my eyes on. And at the time, every time I saw her, I just felt remedy. Like just a nice rhythm in my heart, in my soul, and everything when I was around her, when we would hang out, when we see each other at track practice in the school, outside of school. So would you like to hear a snippet of that poem?
Sure, if you you feel comfortable reciting it.
I'll just show you like the first, probably verse for it. Remedy's a piece of art I can't explain. I won't complain. I tried to tame every thought inside my brain. Caught my eye, couldn't drift it, but my mind just started shifting. Never have I laid my eyes onto a woman that was perfect, sheesh. I tried to hide it, but temptation couldn't stop it. Feelings walking to the door, steady knocking. I never felt this way before, it was shocking. It brought me out my funk, the beauty was defying.
That's deep as hell. That's deep. Especially when you're in high school, writing stuff like that, that's deep. Yeah, I've wrote songs and stuff before, like for myself, poems and stuff. Are you a perfectionist when it comes to writing, or?
I personally don't feel as if I'm a perfectionist. A lot of people tell me that it's not easy to write a song, but for some reason I go through so much stuff in my life, whether it's my love life, my life when it comes to like politics or athletics or my education or just in my family. And I feel as if I have a good vocabulary to incorporate that into poems, which forms into lyrics. And I just have a good ear for music and what sounds right and whatnot. And I always told myself, being in this generation, since I want to be a musical artist, I don't want to make music like what my generation is doing nowadays, because my generation just considers if you have a nice hook or chorus and a nice beat, that's a good song. No matter what the rapper or the singer is saying in their lyrics, it could be the most irrelevant or delusional, or as I like to say, stupid thing. But I like to actually put symbolism behind my lyrics. I personally feel as if I can make a catchy, great song while having symbolism behind the lyrics, because back in the day, in the 90s and 80s, there were great hit songs that were catchy just like the ones nowadays, but they can make great catchy songs while having symbolism behind the lyrics as well. So I just want to be able to be a voice for my generation and show them that you don't just have to say something stupid or be a video vixen for like the camera, and just say like anything that you want, whether it's like just disrespectful to our race or the society or our own generation, to get out there.
Yeah, I feel you. I really feel you on that. And you're like one of the first people I ever heard say something like that, because I mean, it is true. Some people who like into rap, no shade, but some of them don't need to rap, and and some actually want to rap and want to get a message across to our younger generation. And I really appreciate you, because you actually make music that people need to hear, not make music that people just want to hear. So I mean, I do feel you on that, making beats and just talking about drugs and fucking hoes, like just stuff like that. I mean, I hear that a lot too much in music nowadays. But I mean, just to make music just because it's your passion, it's something you want to do, is something you want to use as a platform to get messages across to younger people. I mean, I feel like that is appropriate, and I feel like that makes sense, to do, and I feel like it's needed, honestly. So like, what topics do you really talk about in your music?
Well, when it comes to my topics in my music, depending on what genre of song I'm doing, if I'm just in a mood where I've seen something traumatic happen on television or on social media that happens to do with our race or just society in general, which clearly happens almost every single day now, I would try to turn that into a song. Just like give me an example like Future's March Madness. A lot of people in our generation just considers that just a hot banger or a song, but really there's symbolism behind that March Madness song, because Future made it in reference to when all those shootings and killings were going on during my freshman year, which happens to be 2015 to 16. And it had to do in reference to those shootings of unarmed black men. And my topics primarily come from stuff that I see happen around me. Like if I get into an elevator and I get in there with like a young white Caucasian woman, they might go into the corner of the elevator and clench their purses if I'm about to do something to them. And I'm on campus. I pay the same amount of tuition just as you. Why would I want to put that in jeopardy just to get your purse when there's probably nothing but like at max $50 in there, because you're a college student just like me, so I doubt you have a lot of money on you. Or if I'm just walking down the sidewalk, I'll see a woman just pull her kids into it as if I'm just going to run off with your kids. Like, how far will I make it with a young white boy in my hands running? I don't. But that's from a society aspect and a race aspect. Before, from a more love aspect, I'm going through a lot in my love life over the last 2.5 years. And I genuinely don't like to put my love life into my music. There's only been one song that I happen to create that happens to actually deal with my love life, and that was my song Remedy off my recent release mixtape Floetry Tales from the Thespian, which explains the trials and the tribulations of a relationship from a male's perspective. But to continue on, when I make topics about love for my music, it's genuinely about love from a male's perspective that doesn't have to be about just having sex with women, or just can I get your number type stuff. Like, I actually want to talk about feelings, and even though some guys might consider like you exposing yourself emotionally is not cool or whatever, but that doesn't really matter to me. I can go from making a serious rapping hip hop song to almost an R. Kelly or Bobby Brownish, very R&B song. So I just like to have that versatility within my music.
I wish I didn't use R. Kelly, but as an example, but I understand where you're coming from.
Before the stuff.
Yeah, before the stuff. But yeah, like, you know, what stuff have you you know, if you don't want to, you don't have to go into detail, but like, what stuff have you actually went through in your love life that makes you view relationships now, like how you view relationships?
I've officially, in my lifetime of 21 years so far, I've only had 3 girlfriends. All started during my sophomore year of high school at Southeast Raleigh Magnet High School in Raleigh, North Carolina. My first girlfriend, I'm still cool with her to this day. I have no bad blood because it's in the past. If I was to still have something against that, I'd be very immature on my level. She just decided to move on and just continue on with her life. No reason whatsoever. I didn't do anything. I just tried to be the best boyfriend I could be, but that didn't work out. So continued to move on. My next girlfriend that next year, my junior year, well, the first half of my junior year, it was very good, but we weren't compatible. She was very laid back, distant. She just wasn't willing to do girlfriendish things that you would want your woman to do, whether it's a girlfriend, your fiance, or your wife. You have to put an effort to make it seem like you want to be around your man, if you know what I mean in regards to that. And my last girlfriend, which happened to be the longest relationship I ever had, it was almost about 4 years. We had a great relationship in certain aspects, but toward like the last 1.5 or 2 years, the love wasn't there as much as it used to be. And I fought, but I guess God just told both of us it just wasn't our time. Whether he ends up bringing us back together in the future, or just being distant, or just distant friends, or just acquaintances, I feel as if at the end of the day it was a great learning experience for me, because throughout all my relationships I learned what not to do what to do, how much to put in, how much not to put in, how to prepare to get into a relationship, and I just don't try to put a lot of my love life into my music. I let my experiences create a character for each song. Because when I drop a lot of my love, like R&B music, people think I'm talking about myself, but I'm really not. I'm just creating a character for them to visualize. So if, like, let's say like a guy's going through something, I want to create a song that exhibits a guy going through something in that nature, so you'll know how it feels in like a musical type of atmosphere. So
Yeah, relationships are a lot of work. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and it's just all about, once the love is gone, you have to be committed to putting work into a relationship. Not say like when the love is gone. I'm saying like when that fire stage is over with, you have to continue to be committed, because that's what love is all about. Is staying committed, staying loyal, doing what you have to do to make the relationship alive. And if you're basing a relationship off of just how you feel, love, I mean, it's not going to survive. So yeah, and plus being young, a lot of people are not going to know what to do all the time when they get into a relationship, being a young person. But it's all about, if you see yourself with this person forever, if you feel a connection with this person, if you feel like you can always count on this person, then I think that's all that matters, really. So yeah, I feel you on that. Also, what you just said about, people think when you're doing a song or something, they automatically think it's about you. I mean, some people, that's how some people are with music, with other artists too. They always think that it's, they're talking about themselves, but really they're just making music so that way we can relate to it. So, I completely understand where you're coming from on that. Has there ever been like a time while like you've been recording your music and stuff, has there ever been a time where you like fucked up on something? Like, not like have you, how can I put this? Did you like forget your raps at one time while recording? Did you make an error in your lyrics?
That has happened many times in every song that I have recorded. Now, I wouldn't say every song. There's only one song that I've recorded that I've done straight through on the first take, and I posted it. That was my song called Kingpin, when I first started making music, and my brother's on that too. It's a very, very, let's just say, interesting song, derogative song. But for the most part, yes, all artists mess up on songs. That's a good thing about recording studios and not live. You can mess up as many times. You can mess up a million times. But as long as you get that one good take in, when it publishes and goes on the radio, all people gonna hear is that good version, and they're not gonna realize how many times you had to redo that over and over and over again. But there's many times where I forgot my rhyme, I forgot my rap. But for the most part, I look at my lyrics when I'm rapping them. So even if I know it or not, I want to get every exact word correctly. So, but that's different when you're doing live. It's right then and there. You can't mess up right then and there. So when I'm recording in my studio, I like to have the lyrics there with me. But when I'm doing live, I can definitely try not to mess up. And I rarely mess up because I tell myself I try to incorporate the same aspects that I do when I'm acting, because I'm a theater major. I bring that same aspect to the music stage because you only get one chance to prove yourself. And I memorize monologues and scripts all the time, so just memorizing a song isn't really nothing for me. That's just like that's like a everyday thing for me now.
You also had stated about acting, and I've seen you done a lot of acting before. What made you want to do acting too?
This is going to be the most funniest story of this whole entire interview. Well, this was my junior year of high school. This happened to be the beginning of the basketball season toward the fall time, and I had my permit at the time, but not my license, so I wasn't allowed to drive the car to school yet. And I happened to be leaving out of basketball practice. At my school, wasn't in the best community, so unless you were a part of an organization or a school team, you weren't allowed to stay in the halls because the securities would do like patrolling around the halls. Mm-hmm. And it was raining that day. I called my mother and I asked her could she come pick me up, and she basically said she wanted to come pick me up, but she wouldn't get off work for another 2.5 hours. So it was either walk home, which driving distance is like 5 minutes, but walking distance is about 30 to 40. And I wasn't about to walk after a long 3 hours of practice to my house in the rain. So I decided to wait in the halls. And I noticed a security car coming. So I told myself, I knew there was like auditions, some type of auditions going on in the theater. And I happen to know a couple of people in the theater. So I walked in there and I saw my friend Nikki. She's doing great. She's in New York City. She's doing great now. But I asked her, is there any place I could sit in the theater? And she said, just sit in the back. It's cool. Like, nobody's going to notice you. So I noticed while I was sitting there for about 20 to 30 minutes, I noticed people going up in lines, talking, laughing, having fun throughout the theater. And I noticed on stage, there was like 2 directors, a tall Caucasian man named Mr. Roberts, who I consider like a second father to me because he changed my life to this day. And 30 minutes in, I thought I was going to be fine, but he stopped the whole entire theater and said, and I'll quote, "Excuse me, sir, you're going to have to either try out or you're going to have to leave." So my friend, he didn't do it in any type of bad way. He did it more like a respectful way, but my friend Nikki knew I could sing. She's one of the rare people that know I could sing. And she was like, "DeAndre, go up there, audition, you'll do great." And it was for the musical Footloose. Didn't know what Footloose was at the time until after the fact, but I went up there, I did a code read scene from a script, and then they say you had to do a talent portion, either dancing or singing. Mm-hmm. So I think I sung either Happy Birthday or the National Anthem, one or the other. Nowadays, if they gave me the choice, it would definitely be Happy Birthday because I'm not singing the National Anthem. But they were really taking off guard that I could sing, and he told me to definitely come back to the call board to see if I got a spot. So mind you, that next morning, my basketball coach's office is right across from the theater, and right beside the theater is the call board. That whole weekend I prayed that my name was not on that call board because I was not trying to do that at all. I felt as if I'll be the laughing stock of my basketball team and the laughing stock of my class because I was getting pretty up there in popularity. And I happened to just put my finger down the list, and I just kept praying that I get down to the bottom of this list with my name not being up there. And it said DeAndre is one of the Chuck's goons, bad boys, basically his entourage. And I immediately got frustrated and mad, and I went to my coach's office, and he told me basically he already heard about it. He was like, "No, I can't drop it because you're not going to put a bad name on my team. If you wanted to go win it, you shouldn't have went into the theater at all." So he's like, "I'm going to have to just tough it out."
What the hell?
And ever since that day, for the rest of high school, and people think I play about this, I literally lived the Zac Efron high school musical life, running from the gym from practice to the theater, back from the theater to the gym. And but to this day though, it's been a great experience acting. I never thought I'd be good at it, but my theater director gave me a very inspirational talk toward the end of my junior year, and he told me if I continue on with this, he could really see me acting professionally and getting a scholarship. And surprisingly, the senior year, I happened to be coming from practice. After this one of the last practices of my senior year, and I saw my friend Zende, who's a senior as well, one of the best actors in the department. He was like, "DeAndre, why aren't you dressed up?" I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" He was like, The performing arts banquet is tonight in the theater for the arts department, the robotics, the dancers, the band in the theater. I was like, "For real?" He was like, "DeAndre, you got about 1 hour to go to the house and change, man, and come back over here because this is a big thing." I was like, "Man." So I hit 50 down the road to my house. I took a quick shower. I put on a polo and some slacks and some dress shoes, and I was so tired And I was just sleeping. I still had the video to this day. I was sleeping in the chair beside my friend, and I invited my parents last minute, but they ended up coming. And this was one of the last awards given toward the night. I remember Mr. Roberts. He's a 6'4" Caucasian man, one of the nicest men you will ever meet in your life.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember being in and out of my sleep, and he was basically saying, I would like to give this award to a great young man that I've got to know over the last 2.5 years. Surprisingly, he's one of the athletes of this school, but I would like to give, he said some more stuff, but I forgot what he said verbatim, but he said, I would like to give the most improved actor of the senior class to DreSands. My friend had to hit me to wake me up and say I just won something. I was so happy. And that same day, he told me that I received 2 acting scholarships to Lewisburg College, and I was so happy. I was taken off guard.
Wow.
And it was, the surprising thing about it is that same year, 2 months later, I won Most Improved Player for the basketball team. The same year, I won Most Improved Actor for the theater department. I just thought that was like so coincidental, that whole entire day. But acting has changed my life in so many ways. That's what I major in at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And I feel as if, in a simple way, I feel as if it's a way to make money. When I first originally started acting, I considered it as being able to make money by playing make-believe. I really looked at it as that at the beginning, but then when I started progressing year after year, I realized it's a great way for me as a black man in America and in the world to get my opinion out there and to just live a life on stage that you never experienced before. Mm-hmm. When you turn on those lights and the stage lights come on you, even though they physically see me as a 6'4", 6'3" black man, that's not the character I'm playing. I don't have to be afraid of walking down the hallways or being scared to just walk past the cop. I don't have to be afraid about being judged when I'm around a certain ethnicity group. I don't have to be judged as soon as somebody look at me and think, oh, he plays basketball. I was just so sick and tired of everybody thinking I do that, and that's the thing that stands out to me to this day that still happens. The first thing that everybody says is, do you play basketball? I'm thinking to myself, can a young black man that's tall do anything besides play basketball or football? Like, can I be a business major? Can I be something? And then when I tell them that I'm an actor, I'm a theater major, they say, you don't look like an actor. And I tell everybody, what does an actor look like? I can be 4'5", I can be 7'2", I can be 100 pounds, I can be 450 pounds. Any ethnicity, any race, and people still tell me to this day, you don't look like an actor. And I tell them, what does an actor look like? And they still don't believe I'm an actor till they go on my YouTube page or they come to my shows and they say, oh, you really do act. And I'm like, that's what I spend the tuition on. That's what I spend the tuition.
I should look on Google right now and ask, what does an actor look like? Because that don't make any sense. Like, how, what?
That's exactly what
I'm trying to, I understand, like, some people have standards when it comes to actors and actresses. You have to have the right look, the right body, the right face and stuff for camera and all of that, for a theater and all of that. But I'm trying to see, like, when people say that stuff to you, do they just look at you as like a basketball player?
That's all they
look at you as.
Say originally. They just think I'm an athlete. They say, do you play basketball? And I'm like, yes, but at about the age of 32, 33, can't play basketball no more. That's when average players retire. So, but I used to get irritated. Honestly, I used to get annoyed about it, but I just laugh now because I just laugh now because I can't change how people think.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna change society, so that's what they're gonna see every single time.
Well, at least you're not going by how people view you. I mean, you're going by your talents, acting, singing, rapping, and basketball. You know, whenever you feel like playing basketball.
For me now. I'm not pursuing a basketball career. I do that more to stay in shape.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I enjoy acting and music, basically the performing arts more than basketball. Because I told myself I have nothing against people that love sports. Like if soccer, tennis, basketball, football is your passion, I go all for it. But I told myself I don't want to play sports and then have to put my life on hold for acting or music, and then have to wait till my 30s to do that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to, because they just look at us as I firmly believe. They just look at us as a dollar sign. Like they'll recruit you and try to make it seem like they want you to be part of their family. But as soon as you blow a knee, as soon as you break something, like I like to say in slave references, they're going to get somebody else out of the pack. They're just going to find somebody else younger that's your same size, and then you can go from being their next prodigy to just like another person that just had a horrible career or didn't make it. So I never want to give somebody basically ownership over me, and that's what I look at. Basically, NBA and NFL as I look at it as another form of slavery. Even though I have nothing against the sport in general, but when those CEOs and those owners are in those press boxes drinking champagne and just talking, they're not caring about the players literally. As long as they're making money, that's all that matters to them. They don't care about their well-being or anything in that nature. So I want to be able to make my voice heard and be a figure for my generation, whether it's acting and music. And I can do so much of both of those platforms that I don't want to have to depend on anybody to be financially stable or to force me to vote any type of political way because of what I'm doing. Because if you're in sports, you can't do certain stuff or they're gonna take away your paycheck.
Yeah.
If I'm acting or if I'm doing music, if I'm acting, they could care less what my political view is. If you're a great actor, they're gonna still put you at that role. But if you're doing music, nobody cares about how you're doing music. And nowadays, you can say whatever you want as long as people like your music. Kanye West, he said slavery was a choice. People still listen to his music. Lil Uzi Vert a month ago said at one of his concerts for his big song that has been a hit song for the last year and a half, XO Tour Life, people don't realize that he was talking about going to hell. People still listen to his music, no matter if you worship Satan, no matter what religion you are, no matter what your political views. If people are giving you money for it, it does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all.
Well, yeah, that's completely true, and I don't understand to this day, but I mean, that's just how the world is.
Man said slavery was a choice. I still not even know him saying that. I thought it was a meme until I looked at the interview, and I was just, I'm not even, sad thing is, I wasn't even surprised.
That's a whole nother story right there. And I don't know, I thought he was just bullshitting around like that just because he's trying to promote his music and stuff, but I don't know where his head is at.
Kanye West, I think Kanye West isn't really gonna piss off the people of his same color until he might do something. I think he threatened that line right now. He done saying some off-the-wall stuff, but I feel as if he gonna do something that's really he gonna lose his black card. I just feel like he's close to losing his black card, like real. No matter how good College Dropout was, no matter how good his other albums were, I personally just feel as if he's gonna do something that not even us black people are gonna side with him on it, and we just gonna be like, look, man, you can stay with the Kardashians. You can't come back to us. But I'm not saying that he's a bad person. No, I just feel as if his mother dying really affected him in a type of way. And I believe in Christianity. I have nothing against anybody, what they choose to believe in, because anybody as a human being has the right to believe in what they want to believe in. But I can understand him not believing in Jesus or whatever if he feels as if he took away his mother. Like somebody taking away your mother, that can be very traumatic on you.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason why I don't really comment Kanye West on what he's doing, because that can change your whole life around. So that's not like somebody going to a coma or anything, but your mother actually dying. I can understand him I can understand him changing up his religion or want to be an atheist or whatever religion he decides to take in. So.
Yeah. But on that note, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you got like acting scholarships to Lewisburg College. I didn't even know, because me and you went to the same college. I didn't even know that they gave out acting scholarships. Yeah. So how was it doing? Because I didn't meet you until the second semester of 2016. I didn't meet you until then. So how was it like doing the acting and stuff at that school?
It was, Lewisburg's a good junior college. It has its downs and it has its ups.
A lot of downs.
Primarily, a lot of downs, but the school gave me money, so I'm going. My GPA wasn't the best coming out of high school, so I had to go to a junior college before I could go to like a good D1 college. But I was one of the only 2 African Americans in the theater department. I forgot the other young man's name. I forgot what his name was, but he was a cool person. But it was just interesting being in that that environment, a primarily country area. I think it was Franklinton County. Isn't that what it was? Yeah. It was just very interesting because I knew when we got there we weren't going to probably do like Raising in the Sun or a piano lesson. I knew we weren't going to do that. But if they're giving me money, scholarship money, I'm willing to do whatever you want as long as it's not embarrassing or degrading my culture or anything. But meeting Mr. Wally Hurst, the director there, I learned a lot from him. He taught me the ropes about doing acting in college and how to present yourself as an actor on and off stage, how to brand yourself. And he brought me out of my shell from a college standpoint before I got to University of North Carolina, Charlotte. He just taught me how to be on stage, how to interact with the crowd, because this is the first time where the theater there, it was like more of a black box theater type of setting where the crowd was right there on all sides of you, and it was basically right beside you. So I never was in that environment before. So it taught me how to interact with the crowd. He taught me how to make yourself big or extend your clout in a small area, which is a junior college. Because he told me when I transfer, because I was going to transfer, building my brand now would allow me to carry that into the University of North Carolina, Charlotte, which I've done, thankfully. So him just being able to see potential in me and giving me 2 acting scholarships, it showed me that I had talent to be what I wanted to be, which was a professional actor. And he saw that in me, and a lot of people didn't see that in me originally unless it was my family. But he was the second director to see that in me, and I appreciate him to this day about it, because when I first came there for tour, he made me feel like family. And he gave me the scholarships on the spot after he showed me around the theater. And he liked my vibe, he liked my brand, he liked me as a whole. So I thank him to this day for it.
Yeah, he was really cool. What made you want to leave Lewisburg? Because I was kind of shocked when I saw you here on campus. I was like, wait a minute, why he leave Lewisburg?
I just could not. I'm fine with all races and ethnicities. I just needed to be in an environment, because the school had a fair amount of people of color, but just being in that area, I just did not feel safe. Because I remember I used to have my truck there every other weekend, and I remember one instance where this is the type of area where they have dogs off of leashes and they just allow them to just walk around and everything. I have my all black truck and I'm just driving, because you know how you had to go through the downtown to get to the school, and they just let their poodle just run out into the road. I'm in a what's my truck? I'm in an Expedition truck. I just felt like I was on hydraulics for about 3 seconds, and then I get out of the car door and I look and I see a dog behind me. It was not my fault. The dog on his own wheel ran out into the road. And mind you, I'm in a heavily Caucasian area. All I see was people pointing at me and starting to come toward my truck. So knowing this is the height, knowing this is the peak of when stuff started happening, when all these shootings and stuff happening and just the killing of unarmed black man for no reason. What do you think I did in that situation?
Drove off?
I drove off. I won't about to wait, and I called my dad. I asked him if that was the right thing. He was like, "You damn right that was the right thing to do," because there was not one person of color around there. So I'm not about to be on the news talking about young black man happened to be hanged today off of killing a puppy unexpectedly. Like, I was scared. I went straight to college. I went straight to the college, and I'm sad for the puppy, but that was the owner's fault for having a dog near the road unattached to a leash. But that's one of the reasons why I left the college. And two, it was not exciting me educational wise. Just like everybody had to primarily take the same classes. I like to work out. The gym wasn't the best. The food it wasn't big enough. The food was decent. They didn't have a lot of things for the students to do it all. Really, they only had like 2 campus events, like parties. Only thing that I primarily enjoyed the whole time that I was there was the talent show and the theater department. Mm-hmm. But the talent show and the theater department was fun. But if you wanted to have fun, it's not like the college would want to create fun for the students. The students had to create fun for themselves by going to each other's dorms, having fun, just chilling in the lounge. Like, they wouldn't throw events. Like, I had to get out of there because I told myself I'm not about to waste 4 years because I know my parents told us because I have 3 other brothers. Mm-hmm. They're only going to have enough to send each of us to college for our designated 4 years unless we get full rides. So I told myself I'm not about to waste another year of my college life here at this junior college. And if I knew that Lewisburg was the way it was, besides the theater department, because I love the theater department, but besides the theater department, if I knew Lewisburg was the way it was, I would have just went to Wake Tech, which was down the road from my house. I would have saved money. I could have stayed home, could have commuted to class, but it still was an experience. So yeah. Every experience, whether it's good or bad, it's an experience.
Mm-hmm. Making the best out of it, really. The food was, it was good sometimes. Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
But I mean, overall, some of the people there was good. It was a I wouldn't say a friendly environment.
Depends.
Everyone knew everyone just knew who you are. It was they had good clubs and stuff that you can get involved in, so yeah, I understand why you left.
Too many fights, too many.
Felt like high school.
It felt like high school, but you could live on campus. Mm-hmm. That's literally what it was.
Yeah,
I felt like I didn't even graduate for that full year. That's a year I would never get back. Mm-hmm. So.
But when you're like performing on stage, and I've seen like a couple of your performances when you was on stage, how does it feel with like when you're on stage, like when you're like performing in front of an audience? What emotions, what feelings occur when you like on stage?
Depending on what song I'm doing, if I'm trying to send a message for like my race and my society and like what's going down, I try to be as serious as possible. And I feel so good when those lights hit me for those type of songs, because I won't just look like a black man yelling, talking about Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. I can do it in a way that'll relate to my generation. Because like, if in the music way, like, let's be honest, if you're trying to bring talk about Black Lives Matter, what is my generation going to look more entertained by? Some people going on a speech about it, or if you talking about the same thing but in a very nice, but in a song, in a music type of way. Our generation is going to more relate to the music type of manner. Mm-hmm. Adults of our generation would look at it more on the speech manner. Now, if I'm doing like love music, like R&B, which I'm primarily talking to the women of the crowd, mm-hmm. that's a whole different type of thing. I like to put myself in an acting type of mindset where I would tell myself, Dre, be suave, be like Johnny Gill, be like Bobby Brown, but not so very explicit with your body. Be like Jamie Foxx, cause me in real life, I'm not as smooth as I want to be if I can do my music, but I can act like it. I can turn on the acting real spot on. And if I'm just straight up just rapping about just regular rapping, that's just very cool to me. I just try to embody what I see a lot of these famous rappers have, like Drake, Travis Scott, Jay-Z, Kanye West, old Kanye West. Yeah, just when those lights hit me, it's just great knowing that all eyes are on me. And each time I go on stage, I tell myself, there might be a music management or a manager or a producer in that crowd that can hear me and that can give me my big break. That's why I try to do my best at anything I'm doing, whether it's only 2 people in the crowd or 100 people in the crowd. Because even if there's 2 people in the crowd, they probably recording it. So that's why I used to get mad at not placing. But I've been placing lately for the last 2 years. I almost won the talent showcase last year. But I always told myself, whether you place or you win the competition or not, they heard you.
Yeah.
And people always go follow me on my SoundCloud and on my YouTube channel and everything, because at the end of the day, at least I got to expose my music. And I remember when I first got to this university, people didn't really take me serious doing music. They just looked at me as a, like, hey, yo, dog, yo, listen to my mixtape, man. Follow me on YouTube. But after I did that Lady Liberty, that was the most shocking performance I ever done, because I think that the crowd loved it so much that everybody was quiet. And they were rocking their heads, and it's like, when I walked out in the chains, because my friend Sean brought me out on stage, because when I was dressed like a thug, I had to change from boots from my Timbs to my wrists. It was interesting. I remember like it was this day. I was nervous, and I've never felt this nervous going on stage before. I didn't know how the crowd would react. So when I walked out in the chains, I immediately started hearing people like, what the hell? What is he doing? But it was fun because the whole front row was like a lot of white people. That was the only row that really had Caucasian people in the front row. So it was good to get, like, for them to be there so they could see this spot on, so they would not view us in that way. And when I started the song, I feel as if people loved it so much that they would just listen to it and they were just rocking their heads. And I remember after the talent showcase, after they presented the prizes and everything, people just kept coming up to me repeatedly like, hey, yo, dog, man, I rock with that, man. Like, all that type of stuff. Like, yo, man, that was some real, like, deep stuff right there, man. Girls coming to me talking about, oh, my God, she did so good. All that type of stuff. I didn't know you could rap and all that type of stuff. And now every time people be like, people know me by my name now, my artist and my regular name. Some people still coming to me, you that guy that did that thing in those chains, right? I'm like, yeah, that was me. Yeah. So it's just great to be able to put my voice out there and not have to do it in the speech aspect, because that's not me. I could do it. I could do some Malcolm X, you've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, but that's not me. If I'm gonna put my views on society and politics out there, I'd rather do it the best way I can, which is behind the microphone or on the microphone, which is stage wise. So that's the way I can do it the most.
Yeah, that performance, that touched me so much. I thought you were about to do like a little play, because when you came out there in the chains and stuff, I was like, is he about to do a play? Then when the music came on, I was like, oh shit, he really about to do something on this stage. But yeah, that was a really good performance. Like, I wouldn't say I wanted to cry, but that just brought a lot of emotions out in me, because it's like, we need shit like that. People need to like see that, because this is real. Like, so yeah, it was really good.
I thank you so much. People don't realize how hard it was to hold that microphone and have them change. Like,
that takes a lot of.
That was a workout. I'm just gonna say this right now. I'm surprised they did not drop the microphone. That was a workout, and it was just a great experience for me. I got to the point where actually one of the talent showcase coordinators told me I don't even have to audition this year. They said they already got a spot reserved for me.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that so much. Like, people know me for my music now. Like, they don't just look at me as like, hey yo, listen to my mixtape type of thing. I keep telling people now, just support me. You don't gotta go around just posting all my stuff. I would love for people to repost, like my stuff, but I keep saying this. Do not come out of the woodworks when I'm up there on television acting or of my music out there, because I'm gonna be like this. I invited you to my theater shows. You didn't buy one ticket and want to come watch. I invite you to my music talent showcases, whether it was in Raleigh or it was in Charlotte. You didn't want to come, but now that I'm out there, or my name is out there, or like my song's one of the biggest songs, you want to say, oh, excuse my language, but oh, that's my nigga. Oh yeah, that's my dude Dre right there. I remember him. Yeah, we used to be cool. No. I don't mean like, no, you didn't repost not one of my songs. You didn't follow me on SoundCloud. I know who's the real people that's been there for me, and I promise you, if I happen to get on Jay-Z financial status, Sean Diddy Combs financial status, I keep telling all my friends that been there, I'm going to go to their houses and have a briefcase full of money, and they're just going to say, thank you for the support. And I'm going to do that for everybody that supported me.
AKA me.
I might even come with you. I'll be like, this is the first man that gave me an interview, Dante. It's 100,000 right there.
Because doing this interview with you, I just wanted to see where you're coming from and see just know your background on like what led you to do your music and stuff, because I see you perform, I hear some of your songs, I see you promote your music and stuff on social media, and it's like, what made him get to this point in his life? Him being in college, doing all of this stuff, having good showmanship on stage, having good performances. It's like you're natural at this. It's like you're actually an artist, but you're just not where, not to sound just honesty, you're not where Jay-Z is at, but it's like it seems like you are in a way. It's just locally,
It amazes me. I really appreciate the compliment. It amazes me how far I came. I remember I did not like to sing at all. I used to hate that my mom knew I could sing. I used to not want to talk in front of crowds, but I think what brought me out of my shell to like to be in front of audiences was actually, to be quite honest, was basketball. Basketball brought me my first set of friends. Even they were forced to be around you, but it brought me my first set of friends. And the reason why I kept doing music and acting, my older brother Demetrius, he was known as like the athlete of the family. Even though we both did basketball, I admit he's better at basketball than me. He's gonna hear this interview and he's gonna be like, finally you admit it. But I didn't want to be an athlete, because he has a passion for athletics. Even though I love athletics, I did not want that to be my bread and butter. Yeah. And I just felt like Demetrius can be the athlete of the family. I'm gonna be the performing artist of the family. And my family didn't really talk about it that much, but now they all come up to me. I go to the barbershops at home. Well, Denzel done walked in, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Like the barbershop, they really be talking about me, and I'm like, my mom always says my dad brags about me and my brother all the time. We talk about my brother coming to basketball, and my dad always be talking to the barbershop people and everybody about this new showcase I'm in, or this role I done received and everything. So it feels better. I'd rather have my dad brag about me on performing arts than basketball. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So, well, to your new music, I see that I saw on social media the other day that you have a song called "How Does It Feel?" I think. Is that because the cover art of the song the is it a?
It's, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a sensual, sexual song, but it's a cover to the song D'Angelo's "How Does It Feel."
Okay, I thought it was like a rap or something.
Yeah, nah,
like,
I'm singing. I'm singing it.
I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, it's about to be. It's about to be. It's about to be very, very, very out there. Cause a lot of people just telling me, Dre, you do too much emotional stuff. I'm like, you can feel how you want to feel. That too much emotional stuff is going to have me financially stable. Say what you want, but I like to do my own music. I don't really like to do remixes that much because those can be nice lyrics I could put on my own song.
Yeah.
But I want to do more covers. So I want to do one of my favorite R&B songs ever, which is D'Angelo's "How Does It Feel." I can't sing in a falsetto like he does, but I can sing in an alto. I can sing good in the alto. So the cover, yeah, my shirt is off with the do-rag, but I wanted to look like how he looks in the cover of the song because he has it the same way. And I said, if I'm going to do the cover, I might as well do the cover art the same way his cover art looks. So I'm in shape now. I don't have to hide my body. Like if I wanted in shape, oh nah, I wouldn't do that. I'll just straight up just make a regular logo talking about "How Does It Feel" cover by DreSands. But since I work out for my body almost every day, I'm gonna shut that thing off if I can. So,
because when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, he's trying to go somewhere else in his music. I was like, wait a minute, what the hell? What's going on?
See how many direct messages I received within that first 2 hours after I posted that photo? You'd be like, man, Dre. Like, it's not like women weren't saying like it was ugly. They were just like, really, Dre? You really out there like that? I'm like, I was just like,
the complete opposite.
I'm like,
yeah.
Telling me like they're surprised that my body's in shape. Like, I work out for this. Like, come on now. I was like, come on. What's funny was my father was the one that took the pictures. That was even more awkward. He laughed at me and made fun of me about it. So, yeah.
So do you have like a new mixtape, making a new mixtape or something, or? Right now
I'm working on individual singles to put out just for my brand. But on the other side of that, I'm dropping my EP toward my graduation time of next year because I'm a senior currently. I graduate in May next year. I'm calling my EP the Curtain Call. Because I implement my acting with my music. You know this because you've seen my performances live. I'm calling it the Curtain Call. And right now, all I'm trying to do, I'm not even writing any song for it right now. I'm just purchasing beats. Because although I can make the beats myself, I want to purchase beats and see how other people can hear me on a track. So I'm calling it the Curtain Call, and I'm trying to have about, give or take, 10 to 12 songs on it. And it's going to implement, there's not going to be one, it's not going to be based on one type of thing. It's going to be hip hop on it, it's going to be rap, it's going to be R&B on it, it's going to be soul on it, jazz, poetry. I'm going to show the whole plethora of my talent on it. So I can go from doing something like, what is it? I don't do trap music because I don't live that life. I don't smoke. I don't carry guns. I don't do that. But I'm gonna show people I can go from spitting bars to singing to saying something like very deep. They're going to poetry,
like Drake.
Like Drake. Okay. And the other third thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get as many people onto the thespian music brand as possible. And right now I officially have 3 new artists up there. One is a singer, Sano. I'm not gonna give out her government name like that, but it's Sano. She's a great singer and she's a beautiful young woman. A second artist is Akila. She's a rapper, she sings, and she does poetry as well. And I have another singer named Kayla Rush who happens to go to this university as well. All of them go to this university. She's a singer as well, and she is a great artist. She's performed at so many showcases and events, especially in Raleigh. And I'm trying to get as many women as I can on the brand before I get guys up there, because I'm trying to get guys up there that don't talk about drugs and doing stuff with girls, because it's really hard. Like it's really hard. I'm like, keep trying to find dudes and ain't just cursing every other lyric. Like, I don't mind cursing, but like, bro, my music, that ain't gonna come off right. Because if I start talking about a bunch of cussing in my music, people gonna be taking off guard and gonna be like, Dre, why you doing all that cursing, man? Like, that's not me. But I'm looking for guys as well. So that's all that's all my mindset is on for right now. Just getting more people onto my music brand and getting the correct beats I need for my EP for next year.
That is what's up. Do you see yourself as like as versatile in a way?
I see myself as being able to do anything performing wise. Music, acting, poetry. Now, not literal art now. I can't draw, but I just want to be able to do the trifecta of music, acting, and poetry. I want to be able to perfect all three. I'll kill to be Denzel, but if I could get close to him, that's fine with me. I'll kill to be Jay-Z or Busta Rhymes or Drake, but if I could get close, that'll be fine with me. If I could do, be like Maya Angelou, Erykah Badu, when it comes to like poetry, that's great with me, because Erykah Badu is my musical inspiration. She's the reason why I even wanted to start doing music.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you right now. I have the hugest crush on that woman. The woman give me a hug, I'm never washing the outfit again. I'm gonna frame it. She shakes my hand, that hand will not be washed for a good amount of time.
Oh, Lord.
I just want to talk to the woman. If that woman can just sign a headshot of mine, I fall in love with the headshot, even if it's myself. She's just my inspiration so much. She don't get as enough credit as she deserves, but him, like, she's my all-around musical inspiration. But I have about 6: Erykah Badu, Busta Rhymes, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Drake, and singer-wise, T-Pain. Because he started the forefront for all this, what is it? Forgetting the word.
Auto-tune?
Yeah, auto-tune. One thing I hate about my generation is they tried to rip and shred T-Pain apart for using auto-tune. And people don't realize T-Pain can sing, like, without that auto-tune.
Yeah, he can really sing without it.
I remember him saying this. He's like, he didn't use auto-tune to make himself sound better. He used auto-tune to separate himself from what everybody else was doing. And people don't realize this. It's not fair that people of my generation shredded him for using auto-tune, but yet they praise people now. Like, I have nothing against these artists. They're great artists, but they praise Travis Scott. He uses auto-tune. They praise Post Malone, he uses auto-tune. They praise Lil Uzi Vert, he uses auto-tune. They praise Quavo and the people of Migos, they use auto-tune. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, why is it cool for them to use auto-tune, but when T-Pain started it, everybody made fun of him?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that to this day.
When it first come out, people are not gonna like it, but when they see others doing it, it becomes likable. It's always like that. T-Pain always get my credit. He's one of the best artists of our generation. Yeah. And some people who can't rap, they use auto-tune to make themselves sound better. So we can also talk about that as well.
That's
true.
One pet peeve of mine is these rappers out here that are trying to sing. There's a difference from like, I just hate these artists, these rappers nowadays that really will sing on the track and act like they can sing. And I'm like, even with that auto-tune, man, that's not going. And then we'll make it into the top 100. And I'm like this, your rapping got you into the top 100. The singing did not get you into the top 100. I know some artists that I can say, but I'm being an artist myself, I'm not going to put nobody's name out there like that. So, but we all know who those top artists out there that be trying to sing that no dog or what they can't sing. One of my favorite artists that do that, but I'm not gonna say his name. Free bands. That's all I'm just about to say.
Well, do you have closing out the interview? Do you have any like favorite songs of yours that you like in particular?
Man, you don't gotta tell me twice. Erykah Badu, Tyrone, Next Lifetime. Anything Erykah Badu, I'm just gonna leave it right there. T-Pain, Bartender. Anything T-Pain, I'm not gonna lie. What is it? Drake's first album changed me when I first started. When I started dating women and started getting to my feelings. He made me not be so scared to talk to women. Busta Rhymes, his #1 track of mine is "Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See." So that right there. All of J. Cole's music. I remember when J. Cole came out, because he's coming from North Carolina, just like me. I started listening to his music when I first began playing basketball. I love him so much as an artist because he put North Carolina on the map. Like straight up. So Kendrick Lamar, I love him so much because his track "Be Humble" and "DNA" and "Poetic Justice" and "Backseat Freestyle." He is the prime example of an average-looking dude. Because, a lot of these rappers, they look like, even if they won't rap, and they could be in, like, magazines or whatever. Kendrick Lamar is a prime example of an average black man that came out of Compton that is talking. He can make a hit song and talk about the stuff that's going in society. Because his Grammy performance, when he won his Grammy, and he came out in that Chain Gang, that changed my life. That not changed my musical inspiration. Like, that's what made me want to come out in the chains for Lady Liberty at the talent show.
Yeah.
And that right there just, those are a few of my favorite songs ever. So.
What about any songs of yours? Do you have a favorite song of yours that you made?
Yeah, Lady Liberty is at the top.
I figured.
Lady Liberty's at the top. And my very sexual song "Fantasy," which is a remix to Mozzie "Sleepwalking," that's my #2. And even though this last song was the only song that I ever brought that's about my life, but it was about my last girlfriend, called "Remedy." I like that song so much because even though it's about my last girlfriend, any woman would love for a guy to rap about her. What I said in that song. So "Remedy" is #3, and then what is it? What was that? What was the other song? I should know this. What is it? "Remedy." Oh yeah, "Soul Food," which was the intro to my mixtape "Flow What You Tell Someone That's Me." It really opened up my poetic side and my poetry side, even though it's a song that opened up my poetic side. So those are like my top songs that I made so far. I'm trying right now to get my cloud out and my branding up so that Spinrilla will accept my music and play it, and iTunes will accept my music and play it. But they just don't accept anybody. Like you have to have a good amount of followers on YouTube, on Instagram and everything. They just don't put anybody out there. Only mainstream music, music website that lets you play something, SoundCloud. So I'm trying to have the right producer and management hear me, because if they take that chance, I can come consistent with songs. Everybody know this, like Drake. Drake, I commend him. I think he's the most consistent rapper that continuously. You cannot like Drake. You can say whatever you want about him, but he the most consistent rapper that keeps continue throwing stuff out there. And I'm just talking about regular songs, like hits. If a producer just gives me a chance, keeps continuously giving me beats and allow me to have radio play, I can throw you 5 R&B songs, 5 rap songs, 5 jazz, soulful songs. I can give you about 15 songs in a week. And I'm not trying to be cocky, but I'm just being my God out of truth. I can give you about 15 songs in a week if I truly wanted to. And add another artist up there with me, I can do that. So
well, that's good. I really get your sense of direction and stuff, and hopefully you can get to where you want to be, with your music and all of that. Some in the future. Hopefully, it won't be too long, because I think you can get there sooner. Honestly, it's just all about like knowing the right people and stuff to like get you to where you want to be. I believe that as well.
Before this interview ends, man, I just want to tell you, I really appreciate you wanting to interview me. It's your first interview for this, and I promise you, man, I'll never forget it. And hopefully, if God blesses me and allows me to make it, I'm gonna give back to you, man. I promise you that.
No problem.
Anything.
I wouldn't mind doing this. I really appreciate it. And I also can have a link on my page to where people can listen to your song, How Does It Feel, and Lady Liberty too, if you can give me the link to the song and stuff. Definitely. So but I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview, talking about all of the stuff that we talked about. Hopefully you can come back whenever it's close to time for your EP to drop, by the time you graduate and all of that. And do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, my name is DreSands. I go by the artist name of DreSands. My music brand is Thespian Music. I go by the quote of "Make Your Own Journey." And if there's any artists out there, whether it's rappers, singers, poets, of any type of genre, of any type of race, of any type of gender, I would love to have you on Thespian Music.
Alrighty. Well, that's all. And thank you for the time to listen to this, and catch y'all next time.